So, you want to do film? I'm Saphira, and I'm from You Like This Films. So you guys, today we're gonna be going around Southwest Australia to a couple of places, and you know what? I'm gonna be sharing more about my journey in the film industry and why I started So You Want to Film. Let's go. So you guys, basically in my life, I've been in the industry for about 7 years now, but before that all happened, the first 3 years after I graduate was a hell. But as mentioned before, in school, I was from SAE. I was hustling in secondary school actually before SAE, and I took up a feature filmmakers program where I had like 200 people auditioning with me to get that spot for 15 people, and it's fully sponsored. The whole program was fully sponsored. I was really scared. My dad kind of like drove me all the way down, I remember, on that point, and then I was just there like, okay, Dad, I don't want to do this anymore. He was like, no, I drove you all the way down here, you better go for the audition. It was really scary because everyone was really much older than me, and I was only like, what, 16? So, went through it, left the audition way earlier because I thought, I'm like, fuck this, I'm not gonna get it anyway. Then left the thing, and then I realized that 3 weeks later I got a call from them, and I got a slot. So I was actually, for the first year, like the last year of my school, sorry, not first year, last year of my school in high school, I was actually doing my O-levels, but I was also in NYU every Saturday, a full day doing film and doing that program. So that was one of the toughest years of my life. But yeah, I guess. So the whole thing happened because I had to juggle school, O-levels, and as well as NYU, and every weekend. And it's pretty tough because I still do have to do assignments and homeworks and things like that. Assignments in film school and homework at the same time for O-levels and things like that. So that was pretty tough for me. But at the end of the day, of course, I managed my school pretty well. I think it's really a lot of managing your time properly. A lot of times, my friends is like, hey, do you want to hang out, go play pool? My friends from high school, I'm just there like, sorry man, I can't really do this. I need to go home and do stuff. Slow down, Bodo. She's dumb, said that. Do you see that? Anyways, so juggling time with friends, and of course, at the end of the day, I still try to make time for them, and I kind of make sure that they understand where I'm coming from. I told them like, hey guys, I'm also juggling this like side school thing that was going on,
Would it be a bit about learning to say no as well?
Yeah, it's also about knowing actually, and knowing and learning to say no. It's the hardest thing usually because you love your friends, you care about them, and you don't really want to hurt them, you don't want to upset them in so many ways. And then after that, they kind of like, oh man, you're always so busy and things like that. But that is when you have to learn how to say no, because it's really tough. When you sit down and you're kind of like thinking about, okay, what do I really want to do in life? And then it's really understanding whether these are the people that's going to be a part of your life in the future. Because I tell you, if your friends are very supportive of you, they wouldn't be so upset if they say that. If you tell them that you need this time off, you need to do work and things like, you need to do film, you have this extra thing that you pick up during the weekends, they'll be more than happy to actually come down and support you, maybe be of a helping hand, and then even just like, oh no, don't worry man, we'll just do it when you're free or something, maybe for a short dinner or something like that. Friends who understand you are the ones that will actually stick throughout, and that's the ones that you should care about, that matters. Other than that, don't worry about it. They come and go, and just gotta focus and realize that this is what you want to do in life.
And what about your next phase?
Oh, it's like very interview, huh? The thing is, after school and everything like that, I still go to uni, but I didn't take a degree. Because SAE is a school that only offers 2 years diploma and degree. So what happens is I sat down for the entire year, 1 year diploma, but I skipped degree because everyone was just like, I told my lecturers like, hey, I want to be a film director, and they're just like, don't bother. But that entire was a really challenging year. Like I mentioned before, this is the why episode. I think the first 2 episodes I've been talking about why, finding your why. It's because of situations like this. When I was in school, I mentioned before that, you know, in the beginning of the year it was 20 of us, and then at the end of the day it was 4 of us. It's really crazy because it was tough. You sitting down and you meet people that kind of just want to do their own thing, you know, and then don't really appreciate your vision and things like that. And then on top of that, you know, like I mentioned before, I do not come from a rich family. I don't have, you know, parents who pay me for a lot of things. So I really had to work with what I have. So for every single opportunity I see, you know, because in school what you do is, for me, I mean, what I did was, they have time frames where you can actually rent out equipment and everything like that. And whenever it's free, I booked it out. And I tried every single thing. I sat down in school from 10 a.m. when the school opens, and after that I sit down till 10 p.m. when the school closed. And I just sit down and really go through all the softwares, rent out equipment, go out every single damn day. If I see a free slot, a free room to practice my skills, or free equipment, I rent it out, I go there and shoot things. And that is the reason why I pick up so many skills along the way, because I realize most of the time the skills are not picked up, you know, like I don't pick up the skills in school. I picked up the skills outside of school, you know, like most of the time you learn a lot more things when you go do it outside. In school, you basically learning things where you can find online as well. Yeah, you have guidance of a teacher, right? But a teacher is a teacher, you know. They are lecturers. If they come from film industry and things like that and become a teacher, that's great. But most of the teachers, they're just lecturers. They're not people who go out there and do things. That's why if it's possible, it's better for you to go out there and do things, because damn, like, you know, SAE wasn't a bad school, but what I felt was I learned a lot more outside of it, you know, like from people and who are in the industry and things like that. So talk to a lot more people. I did that all the time. I would like talk to people, because the greatest thing about SAE at that point in time was because my lecturers were also industry people. So it was really nice to talk to them, because they know people from the industry and they would let me know, oh, you know, let's talk to this guy and that guy. And I'm like, oh, cool, so pretty much.
So it wasn't really the structure of the class, it was more the people that you met, right?
Yeah.
And the equipment.
Oh yeah, definitely. People you meet and everything like that plays a part as well, because, you know, the thing is, I have to be honest, I'm being real here. Like, I don't really like any of my mates in school. Like, well, I have really a couple of few ones. Don't get me wrong, if you're watching out there, I love you guys, I miss you guys. And people like, shout out to Rajiv, because I know you watch my stuff. But like, you know, that was for my face in SAE. I was really working really hard. You know, while your friends are like hanging out, dude, I have like friends always telling me like, why don't you go hang out with us? You know, we're gonna play, you know, again, pool, because we have a little bar from, you know, for our school back in those days. And then after that, you know, a lot of my friends drink and smoke. I don't do that, but, you know, of course, you know, at that point in time, I was just like I kind of just want to do work. So I usually be left alone in SAE for the entire day. And everyone's just like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing work. Oh, shouldn't you just leave?
Actually, I think I should add this on. I don't know if you can hear the mic or if you need to pull it over to me.
I think.
My 2 cents in this whole issue is like, I had so many friends who wanted to drink and smoke going into uni, and like, I was taking a gap year. It didn't make sense for me to go to university when I didn't want to study. Like, I loved editing, but why would I go and study anything if I didn't know if I wanted to do graphic design, primary school teaching, media, anything. I had no idea. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put that on hold. I'm going to have a gap year. I'm just going to work, make money in something completely unrelated, working in a cafe, and travel as much as I can. And that was it. That's what I did. And during that time, I learned a lot about my life, about who I am as a person. And I think that did a hell of a lot more for me than going to uni and forcing myself through a course that I didn't enjoy, because now I'm doing it, I really love it, and I have myself together and who I am. I think I can go all in on it, and I think that was an absolute blessing for me, being able to take that gap year. And I think anyone, if you're in secondary school and you have the opportunity to take a gap year and not go straight into uni, if you're not entirely sure, do it. That's my 2 cents. I, on the other hand, knew exactly what she wanted to do, so she went straight into film school. Fair enough. But if you're not at least 90% sure of what you want to do, I'd say do something else. And really stress test yourself. Go do something that's totally unrelated. Go and try other things, and that will really force you into the decision of whether you want to do it or not at the end of the day. And that's my 2 cents on the whole issue.
Is it someone's Goat Town.